Welcome to Romance Rex, where book besties explore the world of romance novels and encourage you to expand your TBR. Join us as we dive into the hottest releases and hidden gems of the genre. You can find us on IG and TikTok at Romance Rex Pod. Hi, everybody. This is Dev.
Hey.
Hi, Jordan. I'm reading so much, I can't even begin to tell y'all. I don't know. The first thing that pops out at me right now that I'm listening to is Smut by Karina Halley.
I was like, you need a name for it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah.
It was coming to me. I was like, damn, I need to pick something. What are all the books you're currently reading? So yeah,
Perfect.
Smut by Karina Halley.
Oh, we're just going with one. Okay. Hi, I'm Jordan. I am listening to Never Keep by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. And I'm also listening to Inheritance by Nora Roberts.
Oh, that's real cute. Nice. A little Nora.
And it kind of fits our theme tonight. But buckle up for some bookish banter.
Woo! That's me as a spooky
We're getting
ghost.
spooky and creepy and dark.
Very dark.
Happy Halloween.
This is going to get dark. So truly buckle up. You're in for a ride. I have a quote.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You must be excited. Yeah. If you just dive right in.
The reason why I may have 3 quotes. They're all from the same book. But when I tell you I could not choose, I know we just said to buckle up because this is going to be scary and spooky. But the recs that I have for you guys, and spicy, of course, always spicy. But the recs I have for you guys are so off the wall. Like, I have a little bit of everything, truly. And the quotes that I'm going to read today are all from one book, and it is called Lights Out by Novessa Allen. This book has been on my TBR since it was originally released, and I've had it on my Kindle. Want to read it, never got around to it. Then the audiobook came out when it was re-released, and I was just like, okay, I want to listen to it. So many people are talking about the audiobook. I got denied on NetGalley, but that's fine because my girl Libby hooked it up.
Nice.
And I recently listened to it, but I'll talk about the book itself a little later as one of my recs. I just want to read the quotes. This is the male main character, Josh. I knew I should have argued with my therapist when she said it was time to wean me off the antipsychotics. Clearly, they'd been necessary if one of the first things I did once they were out of my system was start stalking someone. When I tell you he's unhinged, please wait. There's more. I'd replaced her bullets with blanks. I was horny, not suicidal. And yes, I planned to switch them again. The thought of her unarmed in the city made me want to both rage and puke at the same time, which would probably be messy. So the real bullets were going back in as soon as we got to her house. He's just... Okay, this one is actually from our FMC, Allie. Please, this is the last one I want to read for you guys. There's so many quotes in this book. My highlights are in shambles. Okay, I'd stabbed him. Jesus take me now. I had stabbed a man while giving him head. There was no coming back from this. My days ended here. Any second now, I would spontaneously combust from the humiliation. My little note for that quote is the absolute chaos. I'm cackling. This book provided me with so many laughs, but yeah, we'll get into it. I just wanted to share those 3 quotes because I feel like you can kind of guess what you're getting into.
This book is blowing up right now, but it's been on my forever TBR too, so I'm so glad you read it, and I can't wait to hear more about it.
Please, I want you to listen to it, though. You have to listen to it.
Thank you so much for giving me the go-ahead to read 2 quotes. Because it was really hard choosing. I'm so excited to hear more. Those are so unhinged, but like fun unhinged.
Right? Like fun.
I stabbed a man while giving him... I mean,
oh, God.
Who hasn't wanted to? But good for her.
But she did.
Happy ending.
Crazy, yes.
Okay. My first quote is from one of the books that I will be telling you all about today on the pod. It's from a book called Wickedly Sweet by Steph Maka. There's something about the thrill of being scared, the adrenaline that makes your heart pound while you fight your mind to stay in control. Then once it's all over, the feeling of safety calms you. and you're so keen to feel the rush again. Maybe I'm sick and twisted, but there's a reason villains are often painted as hot, seductive men. It's because women like me exist, and we want to scream in more ways than one.
Yeah. Very succinct, very straight to the point. Yes.
I
love it.
That's the FMC inner monologue. Okay, this is from a different book that I will be telling you about, from the book Dark Psychos by Christy Cunning. To bring home a woman, and I'll make farting noises while wearing a dolphin costume and acting like I'm humping each of you. See how long you can hold an erection then.
What? What? Who is talking to who? Please, you know what? You can talk about the book.
This is the FMC. I mean, there was another one that I almost read instead. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's another one. This is a why choose, and the FMC is a ghost. So that's why she can do these things, because she is a ghost.
It makes sense what she just said now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Jude butts in. The point is, we can't enjoy a woman unless we enjoy her together. It's part of the bond. None of us have ever had a woman on our own. So if you were a boy band, you'd be One Erection, I state, rambling because they have me nervous.
No, she's actually unhinged. I fear I must read this book.
I can't wait to tell you all about it. So,
yeah.
Welcome to our spooky Halloween episode. It should just be more like unhinged episode.
Yes.
Because
these
are so fun. I am so excited to talk about these recs. And I've had so much fun. Like, some of them I read in the past. Some of them I went through some new recs trying to find fresh titles for this episode too. So it's a mix of old favorites and new. And I don't know. There's something special about this time of year and reading these books. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely like a vibe to read stuff like this around this time. Like, it just doesn't hit reading this kind of stuff in spring, in the spring.
Right. I'm going to go first real quick with a quick one, if that's okay.
Please.
I'm going to start with my first. I have a lot of recs tonight, but I wrote it all down to make sure that I get you the information you need. You'll get some of my ramblings, but we're going to try to keep it succinct. I'm going to start with my most, I'd say, clean one. The least smut. There's not, I don't think really any, no, it's closed door. This is my only closed door. I figured I'd do it right away, get it out of the way. So this is A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney, and I recently read the arc for this one. I've posted it on our socials, but I did want to read it and bring it up because the countdown in this book counts down to Halloween, which is also the female main character's birthday, and it's very heavily Halloween themed. In a coven all about choosing your own path of magic, Kate, short for Hecate, was designated a hedge witch from the time she was born. Set apart from her coven, she enjoys her solitude, but as Halloween and her 31st birthday approach, she's confronted with a guest from her past, ex-boyfriend, dark family secrets, shame, mom, shame, and coven obligations. Can she face truths long buried and accept her fate, or will she crumble beneath the expectation? I loved it. I listened to this one. The narrator did a great job bringing everything to life. And I really felt through the writing and the narrator, the struggle that she was going through. And so the thing about these covens and these witches is there's all these different branches of magic. But this large area coven, they choose their own path of magic and then focus only on that, giving up the rest of their magic to the group, like the greater good or whatever, at 13. But that's their thing. They get to choose. But her mom designated her one at birth, and no one knew why. So her mom took her choice away.
Hate that.
So that's part of the big mystery, right? You're trying to figure out why. It's perfect, spooky, but still kind of cozy vibes. So if that's kind of what you're looking for, you're not looking for anything too dark. It does have dark themes and darker magic is in play. Her ex is actually a dark wizard. Technically, the dark arts or whatever you want to call it, It's not following Voldemort or anything, but so it's just the family dynamics are interesting. I hate her sisters, even though she has a decent relationship. I don't know. I think her sister's just a bitch. But the book itself is written really well, and I went down a rabbit hole about Wallace Kinney, and this is her first published novel, and I'm so excited to read
that.
more. I wrote to the publisher and said I would love to be on ARC teams or street teams in the future because it was so good.
I love that. Yeah.
Yep. Cozy, spooky. There you go.
Okay, since you're going cozy spooky, I'm gonna go cozy cringy. No, cozy.
Just call it cringy. Sometimes you want a cringy, and you
Yeah,
just be
cozy
honest with
cringy.
it, because what could be cringe for you could be like, give me for other people.
Right. It's very cozy though, but also very cringy. So what I'm talking about is Muscles and Monsters by Ashley Bennett. And I wrote a little something, and I wanted to really make it sound cringy, so I hope that comes through.
Oh no.
In this cozy monster romance, monsters and humans are beginning to live together. Tegan, a bakery owner, has an accident with a wedding cake that sees Atlas coming to her rescue. The woven male is intimidating, kind, and the sweetest thing she's ever seen. She should know her life is sweets.
Oh no.
I wrote that of my own volition.
God, you're good.
Okay. Atlas owns the monster gym near her bakery, and one run-in makes it so that she is all he can think about. Lots of spicy spice, knots, and running through the woods in this one. Also lots of cringy baby, wolf daddy, and sweet thing. Let me explain.
Daddy? Yes, please.
As I said, humans and like monsters are coming together for the first time. You're seeing interspecies relationships. You're seeing interspecies business, streets and neighborhoods and all these kinds of things. And it's a glorious time to be alive in this little town. Tegan is something else. This girl is hornier than a fucking rhino. I don't know what to compare her to.
Hornier than a rhino?
Those have horns? Rhinos have horns? They do. I think. Anyway, so she's just, everything just like her lizard brain just takes over, you know? Atlas is a wolven, so he's a wolf. I just want to be very clear. He's a wolf who walks on his like legs.
Oh, so not a shifter.
Not a shifter, baby. He has claws, and the claws stay there during spicy time, and that's a little psychotic, Ashley Bennett. It's a little psychotic.
How hairy is he?
He's hairy. He's covered in hair. He talks about.
Does he have a red rocket then? Is that what happens?
Yes. I'm glad you're asking the fucking important questions, because I was taken aback once Tegan got her hands and mouth on that thing and kept describing the red tip.
Oh. I'm gonna cry. Where's Christina? She probably would be like, you guys, this is not new. I read this on AO3 all the time. Shout out to you, Christina.
Christina would love this for sure. Christina, babe, pick the book up. I dropped it in our group chat. So yeah, just add to cart for you, because I think you'd enjoy this. Anyway, yeah, he's a wolf, okay? But he has a business. He has money. He lives in a mansion. He has a gym. He's doing things. So here's where I struggle. You hear I'm describing him, right? You have an image. Like he owns a gym. He's a wolf. He's tall. He's built. He's like a wolf. Like, I don't know how else to tell you that this man is a wolf, okay? And his past trauma is that his ex-girlfriend, who is also woven, female woven, was like mean and called him fat. And so now he has body dysmorphia a little bit.
That's not funny.
And it's not funny, but he's also soft. Like his ex-girlfriend storms into the gym and like reads him the riot act, and he whimpers because he's scared and upset. And I said, Ashley, in my mind, I said,
he's a little beta. He's a little beta.
Yeah, it's giving alpha energy or beta energy in an alpha body.
But he wants to be an alpha, but he's truly
he wants to so bad.
Beta.
But also when he's with Tegan, he is kind of alpha. Like, I don't know. Let me say something. It's very cozy. Yeah, it's very cozy. It's very cute. There is some funny stuff that happens. Like some of the dialogue is funny, but when I tell you, you'll be cringing and screaming. The fact is, I obviously did not hate it because I finished it. And y'all know me. Sometimes I'll start a book, and if it's real bad, I have to dip out, which honestly was the case for a couple books that I wanted to recommend today that will not be named. I had to DNF because I just could not. So I finished this, and it's a quick read. Like, I think it's 4 hours. So
that was my next question, was like, how long is it?
Yeah, I listened to it. I didn't actually read it. I listened to it.
So how is the narrator?
So here's what I think. I think the narrators are the problem. I'm so
Oh.
sorry, guys. I don't
It's
mean
just
to
hard to
attack
read that kind of
narrators.
and it's kind of hard to read that material. Like it's hard.
Yes. Tegan's character, the narrator for Tegan, I don't think this is the narrator. I think this is the combination of the two. The lines of dialogue written for Tegan and the voice the narrator chose to give to Tegan. But Tegan was like, yeah, come and get me, Wolf Daddy.
Oh, I just moved my whole screen. Oh my God.
Have you no shame? Have you no shame to say things like that? But that's also what made it funny. Honestly, I didn't hate it. I'm telling you that it was cringy. Like, do not go into this thinking you're about to read an epic fantasy quest. Babes, you're not. You're going to get a good laugh. You're going to get some spicy spice and a really red rocket. This is what's happening. So if you want to hear our wolf daddy call his human baby 50 million times and sweet thing, which honestly made me want to scream. Yeah, sweet thing. Because she owns a bakery. Anyway, I had fun. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I had fun. I enjoyed it. And the best part, it's part of a series. So there are characters that are next up for the Leviathan Gym series.
Okay, the Leviathan Gym.
Leviathan, yeah. The gym name is Leviathan. The Leviathan Gym.
Is he referencing his red rocket in that?
Don't know. I honestly don't want to think about the red rocket and how many times
Me either.
it was mentioned.
I can't get it on my head. That is
Tegan's mouth was wrapped around it. It was insane.
Stop it right now. Stop it.
Moving along. What's up? What do you got next? Anyway, thank you, Ashley, for that laugh.
Son of a bitch. So I'm going to go right into my first unhinged. Actually, this is probably my most, let me look at my list. This is my most unhinged. So this is the one that I read 2 quotes of. This is the Dark Side series by Christy Cunning. The first book is called Dark Psychos. She's a ghost who only exists around these 4 dark and twisted men. So if these men aren't together, she doesn't exist. She only pops into existence around them. And she can't move a certain amount of space away from them. She has no memory aside from her time with them. I think it actually is like years when we start. I can't remember. It's a long time. She watches over them and lusts after each of them, and especially whenever they bring a girl home to share. She has only 4 goals in her existence, right? Goal number 1, become a real girl instead of this invisible ghost thing I currently am. Goal number 2, convince the 4 men I've been haunting for the past 5 years, to pick me and be their new toy after goal 1 is complete. Goal number 3, figure out who/what I am and why I can't remember anything past the 5 years I've been haunting this quad. Goal number 4, eat popcorn. So this is a why choose. It's ridiculous, it's hilarious, and it is addictive. It's ridiculous because this female main character, she's a ghost. And her only memories are around them. She can't talk to anyone. They don't know she's there.
Wait, they don't know she's there?
No, they don't know she's there. So she's just been haunting their asses for 4 years, and they don't know. And she tries to figure out she's like, something's up with these guys, but whenever they leave a certain way, I can't follow them. So it's primarily at the house where she's with them, and she can tag along sometimes. But like whenever they dip out a certain place, she tries to listen to them, but they don't talk about certain things. And she's like trying to connect these dots. And she just thinks popcorn would be so good to try. She's obsessed with it. So she is unhinged because you guys imagine your mental state. If you had no one to talk to, the only thing she can affect is what she's wearing. So she changes her outfits constantly. So like in that first quote that I read when she's make fart noises while wearing a dolphin outfit, because she could literally put on a dolphin outfit like with her thoughts. And every night she tucks them in though. And then she'll just stay up. I'll watch out for you guys. And she just stands awake and like outside their doors.
But they can't hear her?
No, and check on her. They have no idea she's there.
This is such an interesting, I'm so interested in how dialogue happens.
Well, because you hear them talk, but she's also like just talking to herself all the time.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. She's never seen another ghost. She's never seen this. And that does not last for too long. Yeah. Things start to happen. Like when an intruder does come one night and she's, holy shit, I got to protect my guys. And things happen. She doesn't magically become like a whole person, but like it progresses and it is so funny. It's a series. I believe there's 4 books.
All with the same characters?
Yeah, because then you kind of learn, because You uncover why she is the way she is, where she came from, if she was a real person at one point. Yeah, there were 4 books. So you uncover these things and you learn who they are. Eventually, you'll get certain POVs from them too. When they finally start to see her, they don't trust her. They think that she's infiltrating them or just like crazy ass ghost who's stalking them, which she kind of is. But they don't believe her. So her whole existence has been longing for these men. And when they finally can talk to her, they totally shut her out. And she's, fuck you guys. And she like tries to hide, but she can't exist away from them. So she like will pop into different closets or she'll do certain things. And it's just.
Poor baby. Not popping into closets.
It's like, wait, so they'll never find me in here. They're like, we can hear you now. She's like, damn it, I'm not used to that. Like,
please, without giving too much away, please tell me how the spice happened. Is she a ghost still? Is she?
Well,
where does the why choose come in? Is that given?
Well, these 4 guys have a special bond, and space. It literally, the quote I read earlier, they physically cannot have sex with anyone unless they're all present to have sex with that one person. This is paranormal. This is, there's a lot of things that, it's so unique. I really don't want to tell too much.
Yeah, don't give it away. Yeah,
but as she becomes more corporeal, because it just doesn't happen, there are phases of her becoming quote unquote real, then she's able to interact with them.
And do stuff. Okay.
And certain ones are more willing to accept her than others, but eventually, you know.
Yeah.
It's so different. When I heard I'm a ghost, I'm like, I don't know if I can get on board with a ghost. But you gotta read it. It's so funny. And you have to go in with it thinking it's funny. So many quotes too, because she's unhinged, because she's just used to talking and saying whatever comes into her brain because no one can ever hear her.
No one.
And she doesn't know decorum. She doesn't know anything.
She's a wild woman. Love that for her.
Yep. So go read it. It's so fun. The Dark Side series by Christy Cunning. Cheers.
I love that. Okay, my next one is a little more serious, like a really actually good book that I think people would like.
Hey, mine was duology. Just because mine wasn't serious doesn't mean it's not good.
No, I'm not yours. Based off of mine, me recommended Muscles and Monsters. Like,
that's fair.
Be for real, Leviathan Jib. Sorry, Ashley Bennett. I don't mean that your book is not likable. Girl, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean.
You write something like that, you know it's just on the ridiculous side and fun.
Right, it's enjoy. Yeah. But this book, like, you have to think. You can't just, like, listen and kiki. So the series I'm talking about is the Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig, which popped up a while ago. It was like a TikTok internet sensation. It is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. And the reason I wanted to add that to the list because this series does have that spooky factor. I remember when I was reading it and like just the prose, the way it's written, some of the words, the way Rachel describes environments, sometimes would make me feel like that spine tingling sensation or like you're being watched or something. It was just creepy enough to be like, I don't know, to affect me in the real world.
Yeah, I read the first one. I haven't read the second one still. But I know what you mean. It's a good fall read. And I think because the magic system is so unique that there's such an element of like mystery behind things. And I feel like that's where what you kind of mean. That's what I got out of it. Like, it's just a puzzle.
It's very
Are
mysterious.
they who they appear to be?
Right. So I had written like just a little thing about it, but I don't give away anything in the plot really, because I think you just have to go in blind with this. Like I went in blind. You just kind of have to go in blind. So yeah. This atmospheric duology follows Elspeth Spindle and the monster that lives within her. Magic is a privilege in this world, available only to those who wield the cards. When Elspeth is a little girl, something happens to her that allows her to make out all the magic others are carrying. It also comes at a haunting price. There's romance, there's a quest, there are battles and secrets, and they all collide in this beautifully written tale. It has an extremely original magic system, and I think people will really enjoy the way Rachel crafts the story. The environment is just like nothing I've ever read. And I know that like people either really love it or they're like, meh, but I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I felt like I was in the world. And that's just a testament to how Rachel Gillig's writing is. And there is a bit of romance, so it still falls into the romance category. But I think everything outside of the romance is also so interesting. One of my favorite things about this is that the characters are named after trees. And for me, that is like, I don't know, that just made me even like I'm saying that, and even that just made like the hairs on my body stand up, because naming something after trees, when you think about this magic and this world and magic itself and like how old it is and how like before everybody else it probably existed, how long ago it existed, and then having the element of people named after trees, of families being named after trees, something so permanent and all, like things that we think have seen a lot, I don't know, just something about that nuance there that really like tickles my brain. It's like I don't know, like an ASMR reaction to think about it. Also trees, I love trees. That was really enjoyable for me. I love a good spindle. I love a good yew,
I was
a
just
nice
gonna ask,
elm.
what's your favorite tree then?
I love me a nice poisonous yew. I do feel a strong elm
Oh,
would have been me in a past life. I don't know.
okay.
I really enjoyed it. And I think of all the books I'm gonna recommend today, that's probably the most like brain melting one, So enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like even if you don't like it, you still respect the originality and the writing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because
Like,
you're never gonna, guaranteed, until you read that, you probably wouldn't have ever read something like it before. Like
yeah.
it'll be a first for you. So yeah, you'll definitely respect it even if you don't love it.
Thank you for that.
It's all unhunhinged from here, by the way.
I'm going to call you. And this
You.
is to be Y-E-U. All right. I think I'll stick in I'm going to skip the one I was going to do because that's more contemporary. And I'm going to stick with our like paranormal fantasy. So the Dark Verse series by Penn Cassidy is my latest obsession that I read in the last week. It is a series, 3-book series. There's actually a 4th, but it's technically a standalone following different characters, and I haven't read it yet. Book number 1 in the Darkverse series is called Knock City, N-O-C, Knock City. She's known as the Angel of Knock City. Her father is the state's senator and is openly against the Darklings. Darklings are vampires, shifters, and witches, which came out from hiding and joined the human world, our human world, I think it was 50 years ago in this world. Her father uses her as a poster child for the humans, but you never know what happens behind closed doors, especially once she learns that she is one of the monsters. This series is spicy as all fuck and very dark. Lots of blood because vampires are involved. And so it's a main mixture into the story. So if you don't do blood, this is not for you. Skip down, go to the contents, go down to the next rec. Her name is Serenity, is the female main character. This is a why choose.
Love that too.
You get to experience vampires, shifters, and witches in this series. Oh, and there's also sword crossing. So it's very polyamorous. There's a lot. Please check trigger. This is one that even if you're like, I don't check trigger warnings, please check trigger warnings and be honest with yourself. There's a lot of trauma. They past it, but also that happens on page. It's very dark. I could not get enough. I loved the writing. I did not expect this. This has been on my Goodreads TBR for a long time. I think it came out in 21 or 22. I finally read it because I'm like, oh, maybe this will be good for the Halloween episode. Amazing. Penn Cassidy, I'm obsessed with you. I'm going to read all of your shit. Do you need more ARC readers? I am right here. I will hype you up. The writing was so good. And I think a lot of it is the pacing and the characters and the way that she reveals information is such a good pace.
Yeah.
I never really stopped. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh, maybe this has happened and maybe it's like this. But I just kind of kept going with the book and I was in it.
Yeah.
Like I did have my theories because there's a lot of things that happen, but there was a big reveal. She got me on one reveal at the end of the 3rd book. And I
love that.
Yeah. I will say my one complaint is the end of the 3rd book, I think it was too rushed. And I wasn't very happy about that. But overall, the series is a 5-star for me as an overall because it's so hot.
Well, if you picked up one book and then read the whole series, yeah, that speaks for itself.
I couldn't put it down. I have a backlog of arcs now. I have one arc that's going to be late for NetGalley because of the series. Like I couldn't not keep reading it. I had to just keep going because I didn't want to leave these characters. Not because I had to know, but it's because I wanted to keep experiencing these characters. And I think that is such a testament to the writing. And
yes, for sure. Are you going to read the fourth one?
Yeah, absolutely. I will. I have other stuff I have to read, so I'm forcing myself to put it on hold until mid-October. But by Halloween, I'll get back to it for sure.
Okay. Wait, are all those books, did you listen to them or read them?
I read them. They are not on Audible.
Wow.
So
that's commitment.
For me, I am still feel hungover from reading through that. I mean, Knox City only has 181 reviews. It has so Knox City, the first one, has 2,500 ratings with a 4.24.
Right. People
a lot of great reviews. So, I mean, it's got a good following, but not huge. And those who rate it love it. So excited about that one.
That's good. I know.
I'm still like giddy thinking about it.
That's good. I love when books feel like that because that's exactly the feeling I have for my next rec, which is Lights Out by Novessa Allen. Novessa, I want to kiss your face. This book was such a treat. It was such a delight. When I tell you, I was cackling. Let me just read my blurb real quick. Hopefully it's written well because I wrote it out like yesterday, but let's see what we have here. Trauma nurse Allie has developed a new kink, all thanks to the masked men she's been seeing all over her social media timeline. When Allie comments and dares the man from her favorite account to break into her house, he takes her up on the offer. Josh is a skilled hacker who happens to run a secret masked thirst trap account. He's also Allie's ex's best friend and roommate.
Yes!
When he finds out that the girl of his dreams is into his secret account, he becomes feral with the need to be everything she's been asking for and more. The catch? Due to a gruesome past, Josh is constantly worried if he's taking things too far. After all, he doesn't want to be anything like his father. Let me tell y'all something.
I'm so turned on right now.
But first of all, she's a trauma nurse, right? She's a trauma nurse. She sees blood, guts, gore. People die on her all the time. She haps on her happy little social media account, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be like TikTok kind of. Haps on her, thing, and sees this masked man, mask on, right? With a knife and fake blood dripping abs. He's built. Of course he's built, right? You don't have this kind of account and be not built.
There are accounts like that, I'm pretty sure. I'm not into them.
And they're not built? Yeah. Pass. Anyway.
That reminds me of... I'll talk about it later.
Okay. Anyway, so she gets obsessed. She leaves comments on every, she knows his posting schedule because if Josh is, if anything, he's on time. He's committed to this presence on social media, right? He takes it very seriously. He has amassed a following. So he posts every, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And Allie knows that schedule down. He's an influencer, babe. He is an influencer, okay? She comments on every single post he makes. It's cute because she's interacting with other girls in the comments. It's like Book Talk is in the comments and they're all interacting with each other. And it is so funny. It is so unhinged. The minute that Josh finds out that Allie is into this, who he's been... he's seen her from afar. He's met her once when she slept over, but at the time she was dating his best friend and roommate. But they ended and they were it wasn't any animosity or anything. Allie is super busy. She's a trauma nurse. Okay. She doesn't have time. She's constantly working and overworking herself. So when their relationship fell apart, it wasn't this big thing. And the best friend and her ex was actually down for them to get together. I've moved on. We should all move on. Let's do our thing. So there's none of that love triangle thing. If that's not your thing, don't worry. It's not in this book at all. There's no cheating and no love triangle in here, which was really nice. But yeah, he's a hacker. He's a recluse. He stays at home in his little, with his computer and works from home and hacks, things. And he, the way he got his job, as he hacked into the government or whatever, or did something, and then told them that they needed to hire him so stuff like this doesn't happen again. Yes, they hired him immediately. They hired him. I love that. I feel like I don't want to give something away because I feel like it's very instrumental to the plot, but Josh is constantly worried that he's taking things too far with Allie. He breaks into her house. He puts things in her house to watch her, which is...
Oh, so he's worried, but she's not.
She, at first, so her thing was like, I should not be okay with this. I shouldn't feel like this is okay. But then she'll be like, oh, and then what? If I go to the police and they question us, all they got to do is pull up all my comments from his page of me begging him to break into my house. So I don't have a leg to stand on. Like, I just got to let this happen and pray to God that he's not going to kill me. Yes.
Consensual non-consent.
And so honestly, this book was, I cannot explain to you how much I laughed. There are some like darker themes involved. There are some things that happen in the book that you might be like, huh? But more than anything, I think it's a romantic comedy. It's a stalker romantic comedy. They each try to one up each other. And of course, so here's the thing. His account is named like the Faceless Man, I think, or the Masked Man, something like that. That's the name of his account. That's what Allie calls him because he doesn't give his name away. And Josh, the real person, this is a secret account. He doesn't like want people to know that this is his account, but he just wanted to blow off steam. Allie figures out it's Josh after the second time of meeting him. Like the first time I told you she meets him when she's with his roommate. The second time she needs someone to help her. And so she meets Josh. She immediately finds out it's him. But she doesn't say that. She's like doing things and like trying to figure it out. And he does not fall for it. Because one of those things she does is squeezes his hand. The same hand that she stabbed when he was dressed up as the Faceless Mask, when they were playing, what influencer or book talk person I love reviewed this book, and she called the thing that they did Pocket Rocket or Pocket Whack-A-Mole or something. Anyway, when she was going down on him in the car and she ends up accidentally stabbing him, she knows that the masked man has a cut in his hand, right? So when she meets Josh and she's like suspecting, she squeezes his hand. But Josh is a trooper. He takes that like a champ, even though his cuts have probably just opened up or whatever. And at the end, he's like, she'll never know it's me, right? We end his POV and she'll never know. The very next POV is Allie, and I'm pretty sure the masked man is Josh. Like, babe, you did not do that well. You did not play it off. I'm pretty sure it's Josh. Yep,
I love it because it sounds like I need to read this. It sounds like, although he's the one stalking and like dark and mysterious, it sounds like she's totally the one in control of everything. And
absolutely,
it's so great.
He's like he's stalking
got her
this
stuff
girl.
Together. Yeah.
Yes, there are definitely trigger warnings. There's some writing of knife handles, so please make sure you check. Yeah, it is.
I'm done.
Real weapons, not. Also, I will read it, right? Read it. But I would highly recommend listening to the audio for none other than Jacob Morgan / Zachary Weber is like, he is one of my all-time favorite narrators. He has narrated some of my favorite books, but he has his real name is Zachary Weber, but then his sometimes he'll use his real name or sometimes he'll go by Jacob Morgan. So I would advise you to go back and listen to your favorite audiobooks and see who the narrator is and see if you see the name Zachary Weber or Jacob Morgan, because he is just chef's effing kiss. The way he delivers, especially characters that have like comedic timing and stuff like that, but also the spice, he is so good. So I would highly recommend listening to it. It is on Libby, like I said, so do with that information with what you will. But I highly recommend Lights Out. If you have a mask kink or like you're into that,
or you're not sure,
or you're not sure, baby, this will do it. This will help you decide, because I was about to say I was unsure, but that's a lie. I was very sure that this was something I enjoyed. This book reinforced that. So there you go. And Navessa Allen has already suggested that book 2 is a biker who wears a helmet. So can't wait for that. Anyway, that's right on time for spooky season if you like masks.
Oh. Well, I'll follow that up with a really great novella, Wickedly Sweet by Steph Maka, or Maka. This is the first quote that I read about the girl liking being scared. So after she finds her boyfriend with his new best girlfriend, in bed, she decides to spend the weekend with her brother and his two best friends in Salem for a long Halloween weekend. While her brother is annoyed that she's tagging along, his friends aren't quite so upset about their new company. Follow Audrey as she takes control over losing her virginity and gets all her dark, sexy dreams made by
Love
her
that for you,
brothers,
Audrey.
both her brothers' best friends at the same time. This is 73 pages.
Love that.
Short. One sitting. For such a short novella, it has amazing character development and storytelling. I feel like I know so much about these characters. It wasn't rushed. It felt so natural to read. And not to mention, they go to Salem, right? And then on Halloween night, her main reason for going, aside from just getting out of town away from her cheating ex, is she loves being scared. And in Salem, they have a witch hunt on Halloween in this book. I don't know if it's based on real events, but where you can sign up to be dressed up as a witch or a witch hunter. And there's a giant maze. And so they have, I think it's like an hour or two where the witches just run away. And if a witch hunter catches them, they bring them to the front to be burned at the stake.
That's crazy. This is a crazy game to play in Salem.
She's dressed up and they show up. She doesn't know it's them at first with light up masks. So again, with the masks, they find her in the maze and there's a chase and fight. It's so good. And I just can't believe it's 73 pages.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't too much of a spoiler, but
I don't know. Right, because it's only 70 pages.
I mean, there are 3 hot scenes. One with just her.
Oh.
She gets interrupted anyway. And 2 with both men. It's so good. It's so good.
I love that. That sounds so good.
And I can't wait to read more from this author. And I'm going to do a novella because that one was short. So if you want even shorter, 46 pages. I read this last year. I got the ARC last year. Demon's Prize by Eleanor Bailey. If you literally just need to scratch an itch, if you want demons, fated mates, and super quick spice and like 46 pages, a Demon's Prize. And there you go.
Yeah, I love that. Sometimes you just need those, especially when you're like in a book slump and you also don't want to get wrapped up in a fantasy world with world building. You just need something quick and fast. Yeah, those novellas come in handy.
Yeah, and that'll do it.
Yeah. You were just setting me up for success because my final rec is actually also a novella.
Look, it's so amazing.
Yeah, the flow of this has been so perfect. I love it.
This was not planned, everybody.
Success. And we did not go over like what we were going to be discussing beforehand. I read Mine by Rose Reaper. Now, Rose Reaper is a pen name, pseudonym that one of my all-time favorite authors, she wrote Obsidian Feathers and Caceres. This is her book, but she's also going by Rose Reaper, which I'm not spoiling anything. I'm pretty sure she's publicizing that she's right?
on her socials.
Yeah. I think Rose Reaper is just a name that she's using for this brand of work that she's going to be coming out with. This was my first step into erotic horror. Mine is quite possibly one of the darkest books I've ever read. And for me, Hunting Adeline was really dark. That was dark for me. Not really what the relationship between the female and male main characters, but like everything else that was happening around them and some of the stuff that the FMC went through. That was what I considered dark. That was the darkest thing I've ever read until Mine. This is a novella. Yeah. It is 77 pages, I think. It's very short, and I also think it's very easy for me to give stuff away, so I'm going to try not to.
Yeah,
let's read what I wrote. Too. Yeah. Okay, this 70-page novella is my first foray into erotic horror, and it delivered on both 100-fold. One deal with the devil between 3 friends changes the lives of 4 people indefinitely. Insatiable need, something, will definitely scare you this spooky season. This starts off with 4 people in the act of doing things, but it is horrific. And the way I'm just gonna Rose Reaper. The way Rose chooses to write, the way the narrator is speaking, makes it even creepier because the voice the narrator uses, it's like disjointed and creepy, and you don't really know what they're talking about, and then you find out it's a she, and then you're like, okay, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't understand what she's saying, but I understand what's happening in this scene. You're breadcrumbed till the very end of the novella. You actually, I don't even know if it's titled a novella. It may just be a book. This just may be it. I'm calling it a novella, but I don't know. But till the very end, you don't understand why what's happening is happening until the very last couple of pages. And when I tell you this is gory, it is bloody, it is painful. Like, I was reading lines from the book and I had to close my eyes and curl my body in because just imagining the type of pain that was being inflicted on some of these characters was, y'all, please check your trigger warnings. It is not for the faint of heart. And at the same time, all of this horror and this gore and this horribleness is happening and other things are happening. And I was, wait a minute, am I tingling? You know, like, I was very confused reading this book. Like, just, am I supposed to be enjoying this part? I don't think I should be enjoying any of this, really and truly.
Like, you're gonna have to meditate afterwards and like really do some introspection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. I actually had to start an audiobook immediately after reading this just to flush my brain a little bit because, yeah, 10 out of 10 for creeping me out, for sure. And it's real quick, so it goes by that. Also, the characters just are well written. You don't understand them, but it's so hard to explain how you're watching these characters operate, and then you make up your own opinions about them, and then at the end, those opinions are validated when you find out what's really going on. But then you're still, damn, but should that have happened though? You know, like, just, I would recommend reading it. If you think you can stomach it, read it because it's so interesting the way it was written.
I'm so intrigued. And that sounds like it's short enough to where it'd be a good intro to see if I'm truly interested in horror. Because I don't know if I am.
Yeah. But horror, I think I might be able to do. It depends. I don't think I've read straight horror before. Yeah. Erotic horror, I think might be like pushing my boundaries.
That's another level. Yeah.
It's very different.
But this is a good intro, like good length
for sure.
One to try.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So yeah, I mean, that's all my recs.
I just have 2 honorable mentions that I don't think
I do have a couple honorable mentions, yeah.
I don't feel like these need to be discussed. So Gothicana by Rue Nix is everywhere. Mm-hmm. I read that. It was actually 2 years ago now. It was probably my first dark academia for sure. It might have been my first dark romance, and I didn't quite know what to do with it. And I thought it was okay when I read it. I think if I read it again, I think I would like it a lot more. It's good, true dark academia, spooky. And I think I just wasn't prepared really for what it was. So if you like those themes, give it a try. It's good. It's everywhere for a reason. And also the one I've talked about ad nauseum, another one is the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas, because it all centers around Devil's Night, which is the night before Halloween. And this one town really celebrates, especially these 4 guys do vigilante shit, but just it gets seen as mayhem and destruction.
Yeah.
And they are dark. Though that is dark romance. But it is a whole series. I absolutely love it. Go back and listen to other episodes. I think the dark romance episode from season 1, I talk about it in length.
Yeah.
Those are my special nods.
I have a couple. So number 1, I just finished talking about En Caceres, but it's going to be Obsidian Feathers. I will recommend this book until the day I die. I'm obsessed. It's paranormal. It's creepy a little bit, but it's so sweet and loving and romantic as well. So yeah, read that. Check your trigger warnings as well, because we do have some cannibalism in there. They're just, things happen. But one of my favorite reads of all time, for sure. The next author, I'm going to talk about January Rain, which I've also mentioned on the podcast in season 1. Couple of times. Specific series I'm talking about is the Shallow Cove Dimensions. There are so many books in there. I think they're perfect for spooky season, for fall. If you want that vibe, we have paranormal. We have different species. We've got vampires and shifters and leprechauns and dragons, they're ghosts. Yeah, it's a motley crew over there. But I think it's honestly one of the perfect series to read at this time. There might actually also be a specific Halloween novella in that series. So like where creepy carnival comes to town. So that's really fun too. Check that out. January Rain, Shallow Cove Dimensions. The last one I'm going to mention is actually Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon, which is an arc that I'm still in the middle of on NetGalley. I'm enjoying this book so much. It's taking me a little while because I have to physically read it. And I just don't have a lot of time on my hands. But I am enjoying it so much. We've got like a minotaur and a human. It's kind of marriage of convenience.
Oh.
But also I've never, for Ruby Dixon, for me, is Ice Planet Barbarians, right? That's like my main encounter with Ruby Dixon books. But Ruby has a bunch of different books across genres, and I haven't gotten to all of them yet. So reading something like this has been so good just to see her range. And also, this main character is so funny. I think she's hilarious. She's like a little demon, not an actual demon. She's always plotting. Like she's always got like a scheme. Like she got to figure something out, you know? So I really love that about her. But yeah, I can't wait to finish that book. So I just want you guys to keep it on your radar because I think it comes out either next month or November. Either way, Bull Moon Rising. And it's beautiful. There's like a special edition cover of the book. And it's just, I really want it. It looks beautiful.
I love that.
That's it. No, I was about to say, I think that's it. Actually, I have Scattered Petals on this list too. I forgot about Scattered.
We have a lot of Halloween. We were worried we wouldn't. And this is like the one with the most recs we've ever done, I think.
The craziest part is I don't even know if Scattered Petals is Halloween. I don't think it is, but it's definitely Monster.
We were doing Monster and yeah.
Yeah. Scattered Petals. Okay, so a gamer girl, she's at the gaming tournament of her life, right? She has a team. They're about to kick ass. At the beginning of this book, I'm like, oh, it's giving Ready Player One. This is serious business here. Go ahead and play the game of your life, my love. Well, lo and behold, a fucking rainbow portal opens up. The girl drops through, and now she's in a land that's like Technicolor. So very bright, very like vivid. But the man is made of plants.
Oh, you mentioned that. Okay.
Yeah, so the petals part of Scattered Petals is because he's a plant man and he takes care of this land and he has a home
like a green
tree.
rocket situation now.
Yeah, and he's very green. Everywhere is green. All the things are green. And he lives in a tree, the home tree, but it's like a mansion. There
is his cum green?
I don't remember that being. I don't remember.
Jordan kind of asking those questions that you're thinking in your head.
I can't remember because also I listened to this and it was like last year or maybe the year before. This, I want to say it might be on Audible. If you're interested in listening to it, I think that might be where I listened to it. But yeah, it was the wildest thing I've ever read, but also so romantic and so tender because he's a plant. Was he going to be vicious? No. Like,
hey, they have thorns. I don't know.
I guess they do. And there is like side quests and there's like battles and there's secrets and stuff like that, but it's a very quick read. Honorable mention if you want a softer monster. Honestly, I don't know if anyone gets softer than Monsters and Muscles and Monsters because he was a soft, wolfy baby. Wolf Daddy.
Ew.
I hate
Anyways, that reminded me, my last one, that I also am in a rec. I started my rec, The Mirror by Nora Roberts. And I was like, why is this not making any sense? Nora Roberts is like a good author, like so well known. And then I realized it was a sequel. Luckily, it's not going to be published until November. So I have time. So I went back and I got The Inheritance, which is the first one on Libby.
Okay.
And this is spooky. Like it's Haunted Mansion. At least the second one is. So the first one is building up to that. So Haunted Mansion that she inherits. So good. And the mirror is kind of, from what I've gained, is like a portal that takes her back in time to witness different events from the manor. I don't know. So that's pretty cool.
I've never read Nora Roberts. Like,
I think I've read
gonna lie to you.
One of hers, or I can't remember. So that's why I asked for this arc, because I wanted to experience it. She's everywhere, so I wanted to know. So this is it's good. It's good so far, and I think it's gonna be creepy.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know how you feel about it when you're done.
Yeah.
I'll report back. Yes. I feel like there was something I was supposed to report back on from last episode. Oh, I remember.
Oh no.
Guys, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, now you're going to have to go listen to it because you'll understand what I'm talking about. But last week I mentioned, or not last week, but 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, in our last podcast episode, I mentioned that my friend Glenn, hey babes,
Hey Glenn.
encountered a part in
Oh yeah.
right. The Witch and the Wolf by Sharissa Weeks, which is the Witch Walker, Witch Collector series. The third book in that. She encountered a scene that had her pausing, right? It had pushed her boundaries a little bit. And as I was reading that series, I was looking forward to that scene. Because I want to know what it was, you know?
Well, and I just made a clip of this. I remember you specifically said it's probably normal.
Yeah.
At least compared to what you read. So
right.
I digress.
I was like, that's one of the reasons I wanted to know it, because I was like, okay, if Glenn didn't like it, it's probably something normal. It's normal for me. I don't know what it is, right? Y'all, I ran up on the scene. I read the scene. I had to put the book down and reread. Actually, not reread it. To be fair, I did both because I was listening and reading it. So I listened to it. I picked up the book to watch the words actually happen on the page. Put the book down, then went back and re-listened to it. I don't even know if I want to give it away because I want y'all to read it.
Don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
It's unique. It's unique.
It is unique.
But not crazy. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like too freaky.
It's not, but it's also not normal, my love.
It's not dark. Okay, it's not normal. It's freaky, but not dark.
Yeah.
It's not dark.
It's not dark.
Freaky.
No, it's loving. It's very
you wish it could happen in real life.
Like really and truly. And not in a why choose environment. And that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
I'm lost in thought now.
Yeah.
Well, this has been an amazing episode. If I do say so myself, we are just
I think so. I hope y'all wrote down all the recs. Yeah, holidays really get us going. Yeah, and also you can tell when we really like what we've read to come share.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to us really ramble about all of our Halloween and spooky paranormal book recs. If you're looking for more romance recs, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Romance Recs Pod. You can also find us on our Discord server, Romance Recs, and please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
You can find our favorite book recs from our episodes as well as behind the scenes content on our socials. Again, that's at Romance Recs Pod, so make sure to give us a follow, and we'll be back in 2 weeks, or maybe sooner because we have special things coming up with another episode. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, enjoy. Bye, guys.
Bye.